Hey y'all, Iric Sky here, and I want to talk about a reverse osmosis filter and things that you should consider before installing a reverse osmosis filter. A reverse osmosis filter, also commonly referred to as an RO, is at a high level, it's a very good filter. Probably better than most refrigerators, probably better than any other water filter on the market. What makes it so great is that and in my case, I use a water softener with it, and what prompted me to install the RO filter instead of just using my water filter that's in my refrigerator / ice maker combo, what prompted me to install the RO was when you use a water softener, inevitably you're introducing a negligible amount of sodium, of salt, into the water. You know, that's just part of the way a water softener works. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a lawyer. It could be harmless, it may not be. But I just don't want extra sodium in my life. I mean, I smoke barbecue all the time. I love my salty barbecue. I don't need salt in my water. So that's what prompted me to install a reverse osmosis filter. Also, aside from the sodium removal, there's a lot of things. And you can expand this video's description and click the link there to find the RO filter, the reverse osmosis filter kit like I use. Very affordable, and the filters shouldn't have to be replaced that frequently. That's the other value add, and something we're going to talk about within this video, things to consider before installing a reverse osmosis filter. When you connect it to your refrigerator / ice maker probably already has a filter inside of it, just a basic water filter. When you install the reverse osmosis filter, you're probably going to want to remove that refrigerator's filter and replace with what's called a filter bypass. I know in my situation, and this may not be the case for everyone, but I'd recently purchased a General Electric. I refer to it as good enough. GE gets the job done. A GE French door refrigerator freezer combo with ice maker and water dispenser with built-in filter. So I called GE and I'm like, yo, I installed a RO, and like, okay, I installed a reverse osmosis system. Do you have a bypass filter for my General Electric fridge? And sure enough, they did. And I don't know if this is the case for everyone, but I said, yeah. I said when I purchased it from a General Electric dealer, an authorized dealer. I didn't get the water filter bypass cap or valve or whatever you call it. And they said, oh, no problem, we'll send you one. And I don't know if this is the case for everyone, but in my case, I guess because I recently purchased that GE refrigerator, that they were willing to ship me one. They didn't charge me anything for it, so I'm like, that's cool. So what that'll do is replace the water filter in my GE refrigerator so that, it's no longer needed. It's no longer necessary because the RO filter is filtering all that water more thoroughly before it even hits the refrigerator water dispenser / ice maker. So it's not necessary. Number two, you wouldn't want to leave it in there. There's a bee, a wasp. You wouldn't want to leave it in there because you're going to have to continue to replace that in-refrigerator filter, and that adds to the cost. You don't need to pay to replace something that's no longer necessary. Also, having that filter in the refrigerator is likely going to reduce the water pressure when you're dispensing water from the refrigerator's water dispenser. And that's the main reason that I called GE and said, hey, do you have a bypass valve for the GE refrigerator filter? And that's why I did it, because I need the greater water pressure. So anyway, those are things to consider. What are you connecting it to? Now, some people, you may be installing a reverse osmosis filter, and like the kit I've got that I linked within this video's description, expand this video's description and click the link there, it included a little faucet. So you could have a plumber, if you're savvy enough to do it, you could have a plumber install that faucet at your sink, and you could use that for your drinking water that goes through the reverse osmosis filter. But in my situation, I did a fancier setup. I had reverse osmosis filter in my basement, and then I've got a line going to my refrigerator / refrigerator ice maker combo So that's one of the lines. And then I've got another line going to, I've got a bar, and I've got a dedicated freestanding under-the-counter ice maker. So I've got it going there. So I've actually got it going to 2 places. But the good thing is I don't have to fumble with, with installing that faucet at a sink. And that may be your desired setup. You may want to have that drinking water faucet at your sink. Maybe you don't have a water dispenser in your refrigerator, or maybe you just want to have that reverse osmosis filtered water at the sink location. I mean, whatever works for you. But these are all things to consider before you install one. Now, and again, my setup, water comes into my house. It goes through a whole house water filter. Once it goes through the whole house water filter, it enters my water softener. And again, the water softener, it removes water hardness, but it also introduces a negligible amount of sodium into the water. So, and then, my drinking water, which I drink out of the refrigerator, it's what's reverse osmosis filtered. The beauty of reverse osmosis filter is that if you're making, like, say, unsweet tea or sweet tea, or maybe mixing up some Kool-Aid or some sort of energy drink, when you're using that water, you're using great tasting, should be next odorless water, and you're just using the top quality water. So it enhances my peace of mind, number one, knowing that there shouldn't be sodium in there anymore, that any sort of contaminants are likely removed. I mean, I'm going through a whole house filter, water softener, and then it's going through the RO, the reverse osmosis system. So I feel fairly confident that the water that I'm drinking is probably pretty safe, and it tastes great. And again, I don't have odor in my water. I mean, inevitably water from a city or from a well, not a well like the animal, but a well, W-E-L-L, inevitably has contaminants and things that can make it smell or taste funky. I got the best water on the block, man, because I use a reverse osmosis filter. So to recap, things to consider: do you want to connect to a faucet at a sink? If so, that's probably pretty simple, but just keep in mind you're going to have someone, if you're not savvy enough, connect that faucet to the desired location. Number 2, are you connecting to a refrigerator that has a water dispenser? Okay, if so, you probably need to check with your refrigerator manufacturer and ask, do they have a water filter bypass kit, or water filter bypass valve, whatever they want to call it. Do they have a water filter? That was a ladybug. Do they have a water filter bypass for your refrigerator? That's what you want to ask them. If they do, you're probably going to want to go with that, because again, if you keep the other one in there, it can restrict the water flow rate, and that filter over time will probably become slightly dirty. Maybe not as much because you're using reverse osmosis water flowing through it, but it's probably going to noticeably degrade the water pressure that, when you're dispensing water into a cup. So, that's something you want to consider for sure. And then also, are you sending it to one refrigerator, or you, like me, you got a bar with a dedicated ice maker that you want to send it to also? So there's a lot of things. My best recommendation is to determine how and where you want to dispense that RO filtered water, reverse osmosis filtered water, and then take your research from there. But most importantly, expand this video's description and click the link there to find the RO filter kit like I use, as well as the replacement filters. I feel this very affordable, and seeing the system installed, subscribe and check out my other videos. You can see my water softener / RO filter setup in great detail. Do your research. But again, expand this video's description. You can find the one like I've got. And also, if you have questions, comment below, and I'll try my best to post a follow-up video. Thanks for your viewership, and y'all have a good day. Hey y'all, Irix Guy here. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please be sure to subscribe to my channel, and when you do, ring that bell icon to be notified whenever I post another video. Thanks for your viewership, and y'all have a good day.